McDonald's parking charges. Don't pay, says a legal expert. It's Watchdog, the programme you cannot afford to miss. Next, McDonald's and their astonishing parking penalties. Last week, we reported on customers who'd received tickets demanding hundreds of pounds because they'd returned to a McDonald's car park within a fixed time period, ranging from 75 minutes to 2 hours, depending on the car park. Sometimes that was because McDonald's got their order wrong or because a customer fancied a second coffee a bit later. No matter. Met Parking, who managed the company's grounds, hit them with an immediate £50 charge, then added multiple costs when customers refused to pay. The company has apologised to the drivers we featured and promised to review their parking system. Crack on, McDonald's, and you should start by taking a closer look at your cameras.
Because it seems they don't always work properly. Remember, they're not just there to catch people who return to the car parks within a fixed period, but also customers who stay longer than the maximum permitted 2 hours. Well, this is Terry Douris, who runs a company that supplies audio and visual equipment in Hertfordshire. Met Parking issued him with a £50 charge notice because on the 23rd of March, the camera caught one of his vans entering a McDonald's branch at 2:56 p.m. and leaving more than 3.5 hours later at 6:28 p.m. These were the photos they supplied as evidence. Terry, I don't see what the problem is here. You're only allowed to stay in the car park for an hour and a quarter, and your van, it seems, was there for 3.5 hours.
No, it wasn't, and we can prove it wasn't.
OK, how can you prove that?
Because all our vehicles are fitted with tracker units, and that clearly shows that our vehicle entered the McDonald's car park at 14:56 and left by 15:23.
OK, and we can see that now. We can see that we've got evidence of that. We can see that, yeah, that means you were only there for 27 minutes.
That's right.
OK, so how come McDonald's have got a photograph of your van, same car park, same McDonald's, leaving at 6:28 p.m?
Because after going to various other places, the driver returned at approaching 6:30 for another cup of coffee. OK,
fair enough. He got thirsty again, went back to the same place. So obviously what they've done is photographed him entering the first time and leaving the second time and missed out the bits in between.
That's right, and our tracker proves that the vehicle did leave the McDonald's and went off to do other things.
OK, so you've got the evidence. How have you produced that evidence and shown McDonald's and Met Parking?
We have, and they have cancelled a parking charge, but my fear is that the camera system is faulty, and if we hadn't have got the tracking system, we wouldn't have been able to prove it, and anybody who hasn't got a tracking unit would have to pay the charge.
Well, you're probably not the only one who's a little bit concerned. Thank you very much, Terry. Annie?
Pleasure.
Thanks, Anita. So, if the cameras aren't working properly, where does that leave all the other penalty charges that Met Parking have issued to McDonald customers? With me now is Tim Carey, a solicitor specialising in traffic law. Tim, not many people have trackers in their cars.
No, that's right.
So, irrespective of whether the cameras are working or not, what view do you take on these penalty charges?
Well, frankly, I'm surprised at the volume of these penalty charges that are being issued. People don't have to deal with them. People don't have to answer them because they're not. It's not a criminal offence not to answer these. If you get something from the police, you have to answer it, but not from a parking company. OK,
but people are worried about being taken to court. What are their chances if they're taken to court?
It's up to the parking company to prove the driver, and they have to sue the driver, not the owner, not the registered keeper. They have to sue the driver, and they have to prove that the driver was in breach of some contractual term.
Will they do that?
Well, I don't know of any cases where they've done it. Okay. I would think it'd be incredibly difficult for them to mount a case before a county court.
And the other worry when debt collectors get involved, that people's credit rating is going to be marked down.
Complete nonsense, nonsense. The only way you're going to have your credit rating damaged is if there's a county court judgment against you which is registered.
So you really... So, I mean, when people get this, it does actually look like an official penalty charge, doesn't it? The yellow and the...
Looks very impressive.
What should they do if they get one of these?
Well, if my mum got one, I would tell my mum to take it and to make one of these with it. And once she's made one of these with it, I would suggest she sees how good it is by doing that with it.
Perfect. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Brilliant legal advice. Well, we invited both McDonald's and Met Parking to appear on the programme to discuss our findings, but for the second time they declined. McDonald's tell us that the parking review they promised last week is underway.